What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Eyes Reacts, and we're back with another video. Today, we got one of the best left-handed stories you're ever gonna be told. Y'all might guess who it is, but y'all don't really need to guess. It's obviously Larry Legend. All right. Supposedly in this game, he wanted a little competition, so he decided to play with his left hand. Some people still talk about this iconic story till this day, so we're gonna get straight to it, get our thoughts in, see what's it about. If y'all haven't already, make sure you leave a like down on the video, comment down below your thoughts on this left-handed game and anything. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss another video. If you're here for these NBA reactions, football reactions, this is the place to be. But let's get straight to it.
Competition, you have to find little ways to motivate yourself. So when Larry Bird was having his best season ever, he just got kind of bored one night and he took an uneventful regular season road game and turned it into one of the most iconic games in NBA history.
Larry was well known for predicting what he was going to do on the road trips. They asked Larry, well, so Larry, you come to the end of the road trip, well, what do you got in store? You've achieved all your milestones. He said, I'm going to play this game left-handed. And they said, yeah, right. He said, no, I'm going to play left-handed. If the game's in doubt in the fourth quarter, I'll switch back to right-handed. But he played the entire game left-handed, and he had a triple-double.
Stop it right there. You're telling me that he got bored during regular season and decided just one game he's going to play left-handed and he drops a triple-double? We got to get into this. Let's see it.
Paratrooper club for Kersey, 2 points for Bird.
That was a great shot.
I mean, made it look easy. He shot that with the left hand, floating underhander, and made it look simple. Down at the corner. Larry Bird with that left hand again, and that's what makes him so tough. The fact that he has the ability to use both hands in close to the basket, something all young basketball players should strive to do. Perfect both hands in close.
On Valentine's Day in 1986, without his second best player, Kevin McHale, Larry Bird disrespected an entire team by playing the game left-handed. And at the end of 3 quarters, Larry Bird had 27 points, nearly all of them left-handed. He was
So he damn near dropped 27 points with only his left hand. God.
literally toying with the entire league.
I had a good left hand around the basket, and they always, if you watch, if I remember the game correctly, they were forcing me left to help, and they wasn't getting there quick enough, so I had shots around 5-6 foot with my left hand. I felt more comfortable with my left hand there than I did my right. Then once I got started making a few, I just kept going.
Larry Bird from Johnson, excellent pass, and another 2.
You're telling me that he said he felt even more better with his left hand than his dominant right hand? So he's ambidextrous, or what is it, ambidextrous? So that's insane to me that he thinks he's better with his left hand. He's better with both his hands. By all means, that's crazy. But being disrespected by getting played on by just using your left hand is nuts. I mean, I'm left-handed. I couldn't shoot with my right hand or anything besides layups, but this is crazy.
Points with the left hand to Larry Bird if you're counting. He's got 31. Still 4:10 remaining here in the third quarter.
But here's how this legendary game was even more impressive than the legend itself. Because in the fourth quarter, it was a very close game, and over the span of 5 possessions, Bird made 3 consecutive insane left-handed shots. Most NBA players would never even dream of trying a left-handed floater in transition, but Bird casually faked one defender, avoided another, and lobbed a shot off the glass to put the Celtics up by 6.
Larry Bird and the left hand again. 35 for Larry. And he has a triple-double. He's got 11 rebounds and 10 assists.
And after a Blazers 3 cut the lead in half, Larry was still using his left hand and buried a hook shot that no other player has ever mastered other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he did it left-handed.
For Bird. Another left-hander by Larry Bird.
Nothing but net, too. That's crazy. I know Kareem is the GOAT of, like, hook shots, but look at this.
Another left-hander by Larry Bird.
Larry's mixture of skill, creativity, and flat-out arrogance to pull off a sweeping left-handed hook shot during a close game in the fourth quarter has to be top 5 most savage moments of Larry Bird's career.
But what was crazy was fourth quarter close game, and all of a sudden he breaks out the most insanely batshit nuts left-handed shots in the world. Throwing left-handed floaters off the glass in transition from like 12 feet. And then the very next play just throws in a sweeping lefty hook from like 10 feet. And then 2 possessions later has a sweeping lefty and 1 hook. And it's like, okay, like you never see any offhand shots like that. And he did 3 in a row while they were holding off a charge. So Larry was a cold-blooded man. And you didn't need me to tell you that.
And with under a minute to go, the game was tied up, and Larry Bird decided that he should go back to his right hand and put the Portland Trail Blazers out of their misery. But as Larry went for the kill, a bizarre no call puts the Celtics in deep trouble.
That's even more disrespect. He played you the whole time with his left-handed, and then to finally finish the game off, kill his opponents, he goes back to his dominant hand. That's a different type of level of disrespect right there. That's crazy.
Bird in a great move. No foul, no goaltending. 3-on-2 for Portland. Drexler, Vandeweghe. Timeout, Boston. They can't believe it. Ames going over to the official saying he hung on the rim, and he's right. It should have been goaltending, Bill.
Let's take a look at it. Let's see if Bird gets hit.
There's the hanging on the rim on the shot by Bowie. That was goaltending with the ball up there. Portland now with a 2-point lead in 41 seconds.
And down by 2, Larry Bird puts the team on his back.
Drexler. Kersey had it, but Bird comes down with the big rebound. Larry Bird. We're tied with 6 seconds left. Timeout. Portland. Bird with 43 points.
This game-tying shot sent the game into overtime, and in overtime, with the Celtics down by 1 with 17 seconds on the clock, and Larry Bird's historical performance on the line, Larry Bird does exactly what he's been known to do over and over and over again in the clutch.
Give him the ball. Give him the ball. He's going to tell you what he's going to do, and he's going to make it.
Game clock, top of your screen. Larry Bird with 3 seconds left. Timeout for Portland. 47 points for Larry Bird. The Boston Celtics, as they usually do, have prevented.
Okay, so not only did he play this game majority with his left hand, switch back to his right hand to finish off the Blazers, drops 47 points along with a triple-double. This has got to be like one of his best games ever. Even most disrespectful game ever that he's done. This is impressive. Amazing.
Here in overtime from Portland. Our player of the game, our Light Beer and Turner Broadcasting most valuable player, is Larry Bird with 47 points on 62% shooting, 14 rebounds, 11 assists. He had 1 steal and 1 block. Another triple-double for Larry Bird, his second consecutive one.
Some night it goes in, some night it don't. That night it happened to work out. But if I remember correctly, we won that game in overtime by like 1 point. So, you know, I probably shot with my right hand the whole game.
After that game, a reporter named Dan Shaughnessy wrote an article in the Boston Globe titled, "Just Call Him Lefty Bird," where Larry Bird said, "I'm saving my right hand for the Lakers." But why was Larry Bird so dead set on embarrassing the rest of the league and proving that he was way better than everyone else? Because 1 year earlier, the Celtics were set to repeat as NBA champions, but Larry Bird made one disastrous mistake that ended up costing the Celtics a championship. Because that year, a Celtics-Lakers rematch in the NBA Finals seemed inevitable.
Last year they had a down year, and we had an up year, and we're playing great, and they're playing great. So I look for us to be in the finals to see who plays the LA Lakers.
The way it's going right now, you're going to be MVP twice in a row, maybe the world champions twice in a row. Larry Bird, ladies and gentlemen, one of the greats of all time.
Well, no question. You know, we were the favorites, and we made our way. They won the East, we won the West. So it's like everybody just get ready, sit back, and let's enjoy it.
You know, this is it, first week of June. And it always happens to be Boston Celtics and LA Laker time.
However, as the Celtics celebrated a victory in the Eastern Conference Finals at a local bar in Boston, Larry Bird got into an argument with the bouncer. This argument escalated into a shouting match that spilled out into the streets and caused Larry Bird to punch the bouncer in the face. An eyewitness said, "I don't know what happened inside, but there was a noise and a scuffle as they came across the street. Then Larry Bird went boom, a nice sweep over the top with his right hand to the left side of his face." This altercation ended in a lawsuit, and Larry Bird agreed to a settlement. And unfortunately for the Boston faithful, Larry Bird broke his shooting hand during this incident, and it was noticeably swollen for the rest of the playoffs.
Dang. That's crazy. I knew he got into like a bar fight. They said that into one of his videos or documentaries, but I didn't know that he actually broke his hand from punching the bouncer so goddamn hard with his dominant hand. That's crazy.
Bird made a great play. He knew he was going to get clobbered. He's got a swollen finger that he got. Look at that index finger on his right hand. You wouldn't believe a guy with a finger like that can shoot that well from the outside. He can hardly bend it.
And when the Celtics team doctor examined him, the doctor said Larry Bird had been in some kind of altercation. I examined Larry's hand, and it was swollen to double the size of his regular hand. And the condition of Larry's finger is such that he cannot make a fist on his own. And when Larry Bird came out the next day for practice with his hand heavily taped, that same reporter, Dan Shaughnessy, doubtfully asked if Larry Bird would be able to shoot with his hand wrapped like that. Bird told that reporter that he could tape up his entire shooting hand and still outshoot the reporter with his left hand. So Larry Bird had the trainer tape his entire right hand into a fist and challenged the reporter to a shooting competition. 100 free throws at $5 per shot, and Bird could only use his left hand. The reporter made 54 out of 100 shots, but Larry Bird, with his shooting hand taped into a fist, made 86 out of 100 shots, left-handed. The reporter owed Larry $160 that he paid in cash the next day before the Sixers game.
That's easy bread right there. Why would you do that? Why would you challenge Larry Bird like that to a shooting competition? I mean, I know he's right-handed, but he can do it with his left. $160, that's easy money right there.
And like a cruel older brother, Larry took the money and played the entire game with those 8 $20 bills stashed in his sock. Savage. Larry Bird was literally in a class of his own when it came to shooting the basketball, because he was the first player in NBA history to average 50% from the field, 40% from the three-point line, and 90% from the free throw line, becoming the very first member of the 50-40-90 club. In fact, until Kevin Durant did it in 2023, Larry Bird for 35 years was the only player ever to have multiple 50-40-90 seasons while averaging at least 20 points per game. Larry Bird was...
That's a crazy stat line right there. 50-40-90 for at least 35 years that no one else could do until Kevin Durant did it in 2023. And then he's still averaging at least 29 points. That's insanity.
Truly ahead of his time and in a class all by himself.
Larry Bird winning the long-distance shootout for the third year in a row.
Unfortunately, after that bar fight, Larry was forced to play the rest of those 1985 playoffs with a broken shooting hand.
Only he knows the effect of his injured elbow and finger and ankle and what have you. He never uses it as excuse, but so far he has not shot well from the field and has not been a factor.
I think Dr. J may be playing him, forcing him to go to his right hand a little bit more than Larry was in the prior games. He's playing on his hand and jabs at it, and he wanted a foul. He didn't get it, Larry Bird. Too bad.
And when asked about it, Larry said, "It hurts, but I can't use it as an excuse. It's just another thing you have to accept." In fact, Larry tried to downplay his injuries so much that the story of the bar fight that broke his shooting hand didn't even come out until the following season. And when the story broke, Larry Bird was not happy about it at all.
Larry, when I wrote about Larry's barroom fight at Chelsea's, which was hurt the 85 playoff push, Larry didn't talk to me for 4 or 5 months after that. I knew that was going to happen. I understood that, but it was too bad, and he eventually, I think, got over it. He knew he made a mistake there. We all make mistakes. It's okay. But there was no way you could cover it up or pretend it didn't happen, because it affected the fans. It affected how he shot, possibly, and whether they won the championship or not in 85. So that was the story. But if a guy's just having 1,000 beers or something, it's not affecting his play, you don't need to write that or get into his business. when it gets into the fans business, then we do.
Although the Celtics took care of business and beat the 76ers in 5 games, Larry Bird struggled immensely shooting the ball those last 2 games.
Bird, top of the key. Bird is 3 for 11. This is his worst shooting game of the series.
Because he went from averaging 28.7 points per game to 15.5 points per game, and from 52% shooting from the field to 30% shooting from the field. So was this a coincidence? I think not. Because in the finals versus the Lakers, Larry continued to struggle.
Larry Bird with his first shot. Bird came back. He's been hampered by a variety of injuries. Bird with a runner. 10-2 run right now for LA. And Larry Bird misses. Stop. Pulls up against Ainge. And it's now 12-2. Casey Jones is going to call a 22nd timeout. The crowd is indeed out of the ball game at this point.
While Larry might not use it as an excuse, I will. His shooting numbers were down significantly, which is the only reason that the Lakers won the 1985 title in 6 games, preventing the Celtics from going back-to-back.
Bird. 70-53. Bird. Missing.
They're all trying for three-point shots. Bird misses.
That's got to be the ultimate thrill for the Lakers.
Kareem hits again with a skyhook. The Lakers are less than a minute away.
Unusual sight. Celtics losing a championship at home. Never happened before.
All because of a bar fight. That's crazy, actually. That's actually a crazy thing to hear from. I mean, we all make mistakes and all that. You know, it just happened to be that bar fight for Larry Bird, 1985, losing the championship at home. That's something you never want to happen. So, it's crazy.
Larry Bird's going out of the ball game. Only he knows how much he's been hurt and how it's affected him.
And you know the first thing will be out of his mouth in the locker room to the press? I played terrible. No alibi.
Never use the injuries as an excuse. The Lakers are winning it. 3 in 6 years. LA comes to Boston and wins the world title.
I was the only guy that wrote about Larry getting into that barroom fight in the 85 finals when you guys lost. And I really felt that was newsworthy because he didn't shoot well after that. And the Celtics didn't win the playoffs that year. And they had a really good team. As you know, that team was stacked.
Coach, how badly injured is Larry Bird? Is there an excuse there?
Oh, that's no excuse, no. If he's out there in uniform and he's playing, then that's that comes with the territory.
I guess Larry should have shot the ball with his left hand like he did against that reporter. Which brings me to that very next season, because if you actually believe that the Lakers would have still won the title in 1985 if Larry Bird were healthy, then look no further than 1986, when the Celtics brought back the exact same starting 5. Because after Larry's hand was healed, he and the Boston Celtics wanted their revenge and dedicated the entire season to dethroning the Lakers. In that year, the 1986 Celtics steamrolled the entire league and finished with the regular season home record of 40-1, which still stands as the greatest regular season home record of all time. And including the playoffs, Larry Bird led that Boston Celtics team to a home record of 50-1, dethroning the Lakers as NBA champions, just like Larry Bird envisioned.
The way it's going right now, you're going to be MVP twice in a row, maybe the world champions twice in a row. Larry Bird, ladies and gentlemen, one of the greats of all time.
That's crazy. That's honestly a crazy story. So you're telling me that if Larry Bird never got into that bar fight, never got all these injuries, you're telling me he would have had more championships than Michael Jordan? I would say yeah. Because there was no one stopping him. There was no one stopping Larry Legend. Couldn't even stop him with his left hand. This is honestly one of the greatest stories that I've ever heard. Still an iconic story that people still probably talk about today. It's crazy. This is the end of the video, man. So I appreciate y'all for watching. You know, make sure you leave a like down so I know you guys are enjoying it. It really helps me out a lot. Comment down below Larry Bird's best game. Was it his left hand? Was it, any other games, let me know. Put them down in the comments. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss another video, and I will see y'all later. Peace.